I've got a legit prediction here. I think in the next 5 years, there is going to be a mass exodus out of the SMMA space. There's going to be a whole bunch of SMMA agencies that shut down because it gets too hard. That's my prediction. And I'm saying that from the lens of someone that's been doing this a very long time. I've been running my marketing agency, My Online Guy, for over 8 years now. And I've seen trends come and go, if that makes sense. And I'd like to think that I'm a veteran of this space. I don't know. There could be a reference number there that's higher, but I like to think I've got a pretty good eye on this space, and I've been around long enough to be able to make a call like this. So let me explain why I think in the next 5 years, there's going to be a mass purging in this space. I think you don't have to know much about the economy to know that the economy is struggling at the minute, right? We can see that unemployment's rising, interest, inflation's rising, the cash rate is going up, but it's not stopping inflation. The economy's in a bad way. I think the government's handled the pandemic pretty poorly, but that's for another conversation. But yeah, we're heading towards something pretty bad. And that's just my opinion. And because of that, businesses are going to be way tighter, and not tighter in the fact that they're going to shut off their marketing. Smart businesses will always do marketing, but they're going to look at what they spend a lot closer, right? That's what happened in COVID. I remember waking up one morning and the business just disappeared. All of my clients just said, oh, sorry, we're shutting down, where we can't operate, blah, 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 blah. And you can't just go and force people to pay you if they're not doing marketing at all. So that's what happened. And it got pretty scary there for about 3 weeks to a month. I remember I've said this in previous videos, like I was pretty close to shutting my agency down, to be completely fair. I was very lucky in Australia, though. They announced this thing called JobKeeper, which saved the day. I remember getting the day they announced JobKeeper, I got 11 inquiries, and that was effectively one of the best periods my agency's ever had has been during COVID. I was one of the big benefactors of COVID because I was established already. So my question to you, and what I pose to anyone watching this, is your agency robust enough to survive a massive shakeup? If 70% of your client base was to turn around and go, oh, sorry, I'm not doing marketing anymore, are your finances, are your margins robust enough to be able to retool, rejig, and survive? And this is why I think there's going to be a lot of agencies out there and a lot of gurus. I want to add that. A lot of gurus out there that are just not going to make it. Everyone is eating well right now. It is not hard to find clients for SMMA. It is not hard to find willing participants into your course. It's not hard. At the moment, there's money everywhere. Let's take 20 or 30% of that money out of the supply and people put it in their pockets and save it for a rainy day. It's going to get way harder, and it's going to get way harder very quick. And there's going to be a lot of people in this space, in the digital space, SMMAs, marketing agency owners, gurus, fake gurus. They're going to get caught with their pants down, and they're going to have no freaking idea what to do. And that's why I feel like there's going to be a mass purge, because I'm not going to lie, the pandemic really tested me and tested my mettle on whether I actually wanted to run a marketing agency or not. That's how bad it got for me, because I was sitting there going, I could just go back to work, get a stable income. Why am I doing this and like risking everything for that? And, you know, I had wife and kids and a mortgage at the time. So there's going to be a whole bunch of people out there that started in this space to get rich quick that are going to go, it's all too hard. It's all too hard. It's harder now to get clients. It's harder now. All those ISAs that I hired and appointment setters and all those people I've hired to cold call on my behalf, they were kind of doing an okay job, and we were getting away with it when the money was flowing around. But now the money's slowed down. They're not getting results. Now I'm having to get on the phone. It's too hard. I'm just going to go and find the next shiny object, which is an SMMA. And I've said this before. I think SMMA is one of the hardest ways to make an easy living in this space. You know, it's a difficult way, but it gives you a whole bunch of skills that you can't get anywhere else. Well, I'll talk about that in another video, but yeah, there's going to be a whole bunch of people in this space that just disappear. So my advice to you, if you don't want to be one of those people that disappears, because trust me when I say, if the market purges out and the gurus and everyone disappears, if you survive it, your job is to survive it. And if you survive it, you are going to be blue skying your agency for as long as you want to run it. If 95% of the market disappears or 90% of the market disappears and you're one of the people that survived, you're going to have no problem finding work. You know, it's going to be something that supports you for a very long time, and there's going to be a whole bunch of talent out there looking for jobs. So it's going to get easier for you. So I highly recommend that you try and survive what's coming. How are we going to survive? Well, it's time to start treating your marketing agency like a business. And this is the one thing I don't see people doing. The way you survive catastrophic events, black swan events, economic calamities, whatever you want to call them, is by having a super robust business that has solid margins, that has solid processes, and can operate on a oily rag if it needs to, right? It's something I preach a lot. Pretty much every video I preach. Learn the skills, learn the foundations of how to do what you're selling, because there may be one day where you actually need to do it for clients. And how many people out there are sold on this concept of find a couple of clients, hire a media buyer, set and forget, print money. That's all good and well while the media buyers are doing a good job. But what happens if you can't afford to hire the media buyers anymore and you still have all the commitments you need to deliver and you don't know how to deliver your service? What do you do then? You shut shop. So that is my advice. The whole reason I think I survived 2019, 2021 was because I knew how to do the marketing and we got super lean super quickly and we were able to just, get to the end of the race through the skin of our balls. And then we doubled, tripled down once we knew that COVID was not going to be a massive thing. We doubled and tripled down, and I'm here to tell the story of how we did it. But I know a lot of people that around that time, they just didn't survive, because it's not just going to be marketing agencies that are going to struggle. It's going to be actual brick and mortar businesses. Your clients are going to be struggling too. And it's already proven that the first thing to go, for better or worse, is marketing, because the last thing people want to do is fire people. But there were still smart businesses out there that will still want to do marketing because they know it's important and they're going to want to do it more than ever. You need to survive on those people. And then when the market turns around again and becomes good, there's going to be people knocking doors down to have marketing agencies. There's going to be no one around. So learn how to do the services you're selling. Start running a proper business with decent margins. Know your numbers, know your margins, know your capacity rates, know your revenue per head. Know those numbers. Know your plan B. Can you operate with a 20% reduction in your revenue? Can you run with a 30% reduction in your revenue? It's not going to be like a 90% reduction in your revenue. It's going to be like a 20, 30, 50% reduction. But there's a lot of people out there that have scaled up to the gills and their margins are thin as, and they rely on a very well-oiled machine to work. They've got media buyers, they've got appointment setters, they've got salespeople. And if those people don't work, the whole thing collapses. You need to be able to shell up and just get through this. And trust me when I say, if you do, you're going to get out the other end and be very, very, very successful.